Good morning and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Sophie, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Sophie's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give her while we are working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go to the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Sophie's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Sophie is seated on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first command they'll demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on the leash, and Fred and Sophie take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Sophie heel, and you start walking, and she'll fall right in line on your left-hand side. We've also gone ahead and incorporated our sit command into this. So as you see right there, anytime Fred stops his feet, Sophie will sit. That's important when you're heeling Sophie, that she walks at your pace without trying to pull ahead of you or lag behind. If she did attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, say no, give a tug and let go correction to her training collar, and repeat the command to heel and then start walking again. Now the next command will demonstrate our stay command, which is a hand and voice command. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm and inch or so from Sophie's muzzle and the one-word command to stay. He walks out to the end of the training leash. Now this is a great exercise to build up self-control in Sophie. You can start practicing this one at about a minute's time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 3 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to Sophie, he'll walk all the way around her, providing an added distraction as he goes behind and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that sit stay throughout, he gives her some praise, and then heels her right out of it. And I'll show you a little more of the heel sit and stay. He stops his feet, she sits. Back up, has her in the sit, he'll give her the stay again, and back out to the end of the training leash. Now this time he'll give her a second to hold this position, and he'll demonstrate our come or recall command instead of returning back to her. He calls Sophie in using her name, she gets right up, comes into him, sits in front. And then the finish, he heels her right around the back of him, and gets her right back to that left-hand side heel position. I'll demonstrate it one more time. Have her in a sit. Give her a stay. Out to the end of the training leash. Calls her right in. She gets up, comes into him, sits in front. And then this move called the finish, he heels her right around the back of him and gets her right back to that proper left-hand side heel position. Now it's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands with Sophie about 15 to 20 minutes a day. You can practice inside or outside your home and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine with her. Next up will be our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He then gives her a stay, walks out to the end of the training leash. It's another great exercise to build up that self-control in Sophie. This one you can start practicing at about 3 minutes time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 5 minutes. As Fred returns back to Sophie, he'll walk all the way around her, just as he did on the sit stay, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that down throughout, and gives her some praise, and then heels her right out of it. And he'll show you that down again when he comes back around. Now you see Sophie's doing very well, but it's always important to follow through with your commands. So if you give her a command and she does not respond, the first word out of your mouth is always no, followed by a tug and let go correction, and then you're going to repeat the command you'd given her. Now there you have Fred gave her the down again and a stay, back out to the end of the training leash. This time he gives her a second to hold it, and he'll demonstrate that come or recall command right out of the down position. Calls her in using her name, she gets right up, comes into him, sits in front, and then the finish, he heels her right around the back of him and gets her right back to that left-hand side heel position. Nicely done. And we'll give them a second to get lined up for our final command, which will be down from a distance. This will be your down from a distance. You're going to have her in a sit, give her a stay, walk out to the end of your training leash. This is the only time you use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop her into a down from the end of the training leash. He then returns back to her once again by walking all the way around and right back to that left-hand side heel position. All right, we've demonstrated for you our basic obedience commands that we've been working on with Sophie while she's been here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Sophie, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.